every time we touch the curtain, our hands are dirty, so we need to wash them. Make sense? Washing hands. Alright, we'll come up, we'll do our skill. At the end of the skill, before we leave, alright, we need to give the call bell. So before I give it, I asked Miss Smith, would you like to watch TV or read a book? Or would you like a snack or something to drink? Whatever two things you can come up with in your mind. Make sense? She's going to say no. Alright, at the end of the bed, everybody see the jump rope. That's my call bell. I'm going to let her know I'm putting the call bell in her hand, and I'll be outside if she needs anything. Make sense? Before we leave, I want to check my work before I open this curtain. Alright, so down at the bottom, everybody see where it says clean, comfortable, call bell, correction, and record. Everybody see that? Go ahead and highlight those 5 words for me. There's highlighters in the box if you need one. You're welcome. Alright, before I leave, alright, and say I'm done, I want to check my work to make sure everything is good. So I'm going to ask myself, clean, alright, is my resident clean? Comfortable, are they comfortable? Alright, call bell, did I put the call bell in their hand, or is it still hanging up, right? Corrections, is there any corrections I need to make? For example, do I need to lower the bed? Is my sheet on the floor? Things like that. Alright, and record. Do I need to record? Alright, there's only 4 recorded skills we're going to learn this week. Alright, not this week, these weekends. 4 recorded skills, alright? Pulse, respiration, and then feeding and urinary bag drainage. If it's not one of those skills, you don't have to record. Make sense? Alright, once I say everything looks good, I'm going to open the curtain. What do I do after I touch the curtain? Washing hands. Any questions on that? No? Alright, you guys are going to see that demonstrated a couple times today. Alright? Next page. Alright, class feedback. Everybody with me here? Alright, class feedback. In this packet here, alright, you have your 21 skills that we're going to learn over these next 2 weekends. Alright, everybody see underneath each skill there's a time. Alright, ambulation, 4 minutes. Range of motion, 4 minutes. Everybody see that? Alright, once you guys learn the skills, after you finish the course, you learn the skills. Alright, once you learn them, I want you guys to time yourself. You want to make sure you're getting within that time. Does that make sense? That way you can make sure when you take your test, you're on pace. Any questions on that? Alright, next page. You could just turn that packet over. It just has your 21 skills.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Do you want to be at that time, or do you want to be below?
Either or.
Either below?
Either just making the time or a little bit below.
Okay.
Alright. Next page. Alright, we should be here, safety roll. That packet just has all 21 skills you're going to learn. So you can flip it all the way over. Alright, we should be here. This one, Natalie. Alright, safety roll. Alright, anytime I need to turn my resident to one side or the other side, these are the steps we're going to perform. Alright, it's also posted at the back of each bed here, and in the practice room it's posted at the back. So if you ever forget, it's there. Make sense? Alright, safety roll is not a skill itself. Alright, but it's included in some of the skills we're going to learn. Does that make sense? Alright, so you will need to know it. Any questions on that? Alright, you guys are going to see this in a couple minutes. You will see it today. Kaina's going to show us it, right? Alright. Next page, this here is our recording sheet. Alright, whenever we need to record, we're going to record on this paper. Alright, on the front we have pulse and urinary bag drainage. And on the back we have respirations and feeding. Does that make sense? Alright, we can go next page. I'm doing all the work for you. You're lucky. Alright, any questions so far? None? Just the one from Ron? That's it? Alright, go ahead and open your folders and take out those loose sheets that's in the pocket of the folder. There we go. Alright, if you want, you can put the other ones up. It's your choice. Don't matter to me. Feel tired? No? Just shy? A little bit? We can get out of this one. Yeah, those sheets right there, Natalie. There you go. Alright, hand washing. These are the steps we're going to perform for hand washing. Okay, if we ever forget, it's posted at the back of the sink here, and in the practice room as well, it's posted at the back of the sink. So if you forget, you can always peek and look at it. Make sense? Alright, on the day of your test, alright, not anytime soon, but when you guys decide you're ready to take your test and you sign up. Alright, you're gonna get 4 skills. Alright, one of those skills is gonna be hand washing. So everybody's gonna get hand washing. Alright, so there's no reason why we should fail, right? We know it's coming. Alright, you can practice here, at home, at work, in the shower. I don't really care where you practice. Just make sure you're practicing. Does that make sense? Alright, we know it's coming. Alright, next page. Any questions with that? No? Okay, we're going to go over these steps in just a little bit. Alright, we're here. On this page, highlight those 4 questions on the paper here. Before you guys sign up for your state exam, I want you guys to ask yourself these 4 questions. Alright, please don't ask nobody else except for yourself. Alright, don't ask your mom, your brother, your sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, alright, husband, wife, right? Because somebody else might tell you you're ready to take the test. You sign up, but really you don't feel ready, and you go and fail the test. Now you have to pay again to take the test, not them, you. Make sense? Alright, so you guys want to make sure you're ready for your test. Alright, so our first question, do you know your skills? Alright, these next 2 weekends we're going to be learning 21 skills in total. Alright, you need to know all 21. Alright, well enough to where you're not stopping like, what's next, right? You need to flow through the skill. Alright, we don't know what skills we're going to get, so we need to know them all. Alright, once you can say, yes, I know my skills. Alright, next question, have you timed yourself? Alright, remember that packet we saw with the skill and the time underneath. Alright, once you learn them, then I want you to time yourself. Please don't time yourself before you know them. Alright, if you time yourself before you actually know the skill, you're going to miss every step. Alright, so learn the skill, then time yourself. Once you can say, yes, I've been timing myself, I'm doing very well. Alright, next question. Have you been a resident for each skill? Alright, on the day of your test, the nurse pairs everybody up into 2s. Alright, so what that means is it's going to be the nurse, you, and somebody else testing that day in this room. Alright, one person's going to play the CNA, and one person's going to play the resident. Alright, once that CNA finishes their 4 skills, you guys switch. Alright, whoever was the resident is now the CNA. Whoever was the CNA is now the resident. Alright, does that make sense? So everybody needs to know how to play the role of the resident. Alright, you can fail yourself as the resident. You can also fail the CNA as the resident. Alright, for example, let's say the resident here, let's say our resident here is hinting that I didn't leave the call bell. They're waving their hand under the sheet. If I follow that instruction, I will fail. Make sense? Alright, so if your resident does that, you're going to say correction. Alright, this is going to be your best friend on the test. Your resident messes up, correction. If you mess up, correction. Alright, the nurse isn't going to see the mistake. She's going to see that you knew what you did wrong, or you just messed up, right? You're nervous, you forgot. But you caught it, right? Correction, and you fixed it. Make sense? Alright, if you're the resident, you can also say correction, I shouldn't have done that. Make sense? That's going to save you on your test. Not sorry, not my bad, no correction, and fix it. Any questions on that? Alright, once you could say I've been practicing playing the resident, I'm good. Alright, last question. If you're scheduled next week, are you 100% ready? Alright, it's not only with the clinicals, but with the written too. You will take both the same day. Does that make sense? Any questions?
Are you timed on that?
Yes, you will be timed. Oh, yeah, the written too, yes.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna go over all that. Any other questions? No? Everybody's good? Once you can say yes with confidence to all these questions, then sign up for your test. Don't sign up before. Make sense? Next page. You won't believe how well I go over this sheet and people still sign up before they're ready. Alright? Some people want to take it as soon as they can, but sometimes you sign up before you're ready, and guess what? Things come up in life, and you can't make it back here. And now you're scheduled to test. You either have to pay to defer it, or you come and take the test and you fail. Make sense? Alright, so only sign up when you're ready. Alright, this paper here. Alright, CPR BLS. Most jobs you go to work at, you're going to need to get your BLS certification. Alright, I suggest you get it through the American Heart Association. Alright, if you don't and you go somewhere else, that job might not take that certification. Alright, every job takes it from the American Heart Association. Make sense? Alright, we do offer this class here. Question?
Yeah, BLS.
Basic life support. Alright, yeah. CPR is kind of included in BLS. Alright?
I know, it's May 19th.
Oh, it is?
That's my birthday.
Oh, okay. Alright, our next, CPR BLS class that we offer here is May 19th. Do you know what time?
I think it's 4:30. That's
What
fine.
time is that BLS class? May 19th. At 4 p.m. Alright, so if you guys want to write it there, if you want to take it here, you can. Alright, you would just scan the QR code, fill out the information. It is $65. Alright, it's like a 4-hour class.
It's also there too.
Yes, it's also
It's
outside if you ever need to look, the papers are out there. Makes sense, or you can always ask us. Any questions on that? Alright. Tuesday, there we go. Ooh, wee. Y'all doing my job for me. Alright, any other questions? No? Alright, next page. Alright, bathroom rules. Alright, make sure you flush the toilet. Alright, if it gets clogged for some reason, just come let us know. Don't let no other student find that, right? Alright, if the toilet paper's running low, paper towels running low, soap running low, let us know so we can replenish. Alright, when you're done, I ask that you cut the light off. Alright, sometimes you'll leave that light running and somebody thinks somebody else is in there. Alright, so just cut it off so nobody thinks anybody's in there. Make sense? Next page. Is that the last one? Nope. Alright, we're here. Failing points. Alright, in this packet here, we put together some of the failing points we've seen on test day. Alright, in your spare time, please go through it. Alright, it has all the skills and a couple of failing points we've seen. Alright, at the bottom, everybody see where it says indirect care. Alright, the nurse is looking for your indirect care. So what that means is she's looking to make sure that you're keeping Miss Smith safe. Alright, you're keeping her clean. Alright, she's making sure that you're having a conversation, right? It's not silent. I don't care what you talk to Miss Smith about, alright? Anything. Hey, Miss Smith, how's your husband doing? I see your grandkids were here last week. Alright? Talk to her about something, alright? When you guys go work in the real world, sometimes that's the only conversation they'll get that day. Alright? Show that you care, alright? It makes a difference. Makes sense? Alright? If it's quiet, you don't show no safety, no care, alright? The nurse is going to write no indirect care on your paper. Alright, that counts against you on the day of your test. Does that make sense? Alright, next page. Any questions on that? Alright, and you can flip it all the way over. It's just your 21 skills with a couple failing points. Alright, go ahead and open your folders and turn to the first page. You guys can put those papers away if you want.
What is the passing score on that?
The written? Or the written, you need a 75% to pass. The clinicals, it just depends on like how many mistakes you're missing. And y'all can flip to the first page. Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, you could just put that away. Make sure you're done working. And then, let Erica, you could flip to the first page. Natalie, you could put those in the folder here and then flip. Yeah. Yeah, and then turn to the first page. Just turn to the first page. Yeah, help me out there, Erica. There we go. Just about. Alright, good. On the left-hand side here, the table of contents, it has your 21 skills and what page you can find it on in this folder. Alright? Down at the bottom, everybody see chapters 1 through 9. Alright. Everybody see chapters 1 through 9 on the bottom. Alright? Those are some questions to do, and it's in the back of your book. Alright, you can find the page number, it's in the back. Alright? It's a little bit of a reading material and some questions to answer after it. Alright, the questions are based off what you just read. Alright, I ask that you have those questions done by next Sunday, alright, the last day of your class. Alright? I usually say answer it on a separate sheet of paper. Alright, that way if you want to practice those questions over and over for your written test, you don't have to erase bubbles. Make sense? Any questions on that? When do I want it done by?
Next Sunday.
Perfect. I bet you next Saturday everybody's gonna be like, we had questions to answer? I know how it goes. Alright. So they're right here, the next page, alright? It's a chart showing the difference between a cold, flu, and COVID. Alright, it's just for your knowledge. If you are gonna be sick, alright, please wear a mask. If you're gonna be that sick, please don't come. Alright, call Tanya, she can reschedule it for you. Alright, I don't wanna get sick and I'm sure nobody else wants to be sick here. Make sense? Alright, next page. Alright. On the day of your test, no smartphones, no smart glasses, no smart watches. Really no watches at all. Alright? All your stuff is going to be outside of this room. Alright, the only thing you're going to have in your pocket is your ID card. Alright, make sure that everything's good with your ID card. There's nothing spelled incorrectly. Your name is right. Alright, you can read your name. It's not expired. Makes sense? Alright, if there's any issues or you think there might be an issue, bring it to the front so we can advise you what to do. Alright, it's no sense in signing up and you come for your test and the nurse says, oh, it's expired. Alright, you will not test that day. Alright, you would have to pay to test another day. Make sense? Alright, I've had it happen before. Just make sure it's good. Alright, on the day of your test, no jackets over your scrubs, only long sleeves under. Alright, for your class, I don't care, you can wear jackets over. Alright, if you're cold, wear a jacket. Alright, I suggest on the test wearing long sleeves under, especially because the computer room is cold. Alright, if you get cold easily, it's like a freezer in there. Makes sense? I don't want you to be taking your test and you're shivering, now you can't focus. Makes sense? Alright. Again, well, okay, we'll go over this. Testing is usually on Fridays, alright? You would get here at 8:30 and you could be here till 5. Alright, it just depends. If we have 2 nurses, it goes a little bit quicker. Alright, 1 nurse might be here a little bit longer. Alright, if we have 2 nurses, might get out of here at 12 or 1. 1 nurse, 5. Make sense? Alright, so come prepared, alright? Bring any snacks, any refreshments you need for the day. Alright? You will take the clinical and the written in the same day. Alright, I don't know which one first. Every nurse does it differently. Some do clinicals first, some do written first. Alright, just come prepared. Okay? Again, remember for the clinicals, it's going to be 2 people that's testing that day in the same room, as well as the nurse. Alright, one is the resident, one's the CNA. When the CNA finishes their skills, you guys switch. CNA is now the resident is now the CNA. Make sense? Any questions on that? No? Everybody's good? Alright, next page. Alright. Everybody see on the right hand side here, you have a chart again with your 21 skills and the time for each skill. Alright, it's in two places, here and also that packet. Alright, remember on the day of the test you're gonna get 4 skills. One of them is hand washing. Alright, hand washing is not gonna be a separate skill. Alright, it's going to be included in your skills. So what that means is you'll knock, you'll come in, introduce. Remember, we're going to close, washing hands. You're going to physically wash your hands. Alright, you come, finish the skill, right? We leave our call bell. We make our checks. We open. We're going to physically wash our hands a second time. If after those 2 times, the nurse believes you know how to wash your hands, she'll say for your next 2 skills, just verbally say it. So instead, anytime you need to wash your hands, instead of physically doing it, I would say washing hands. Does that make sense? Alright, don't switch unless she tells you. Alright, if you switch on your own, you could fail hand washing. Alright? She usually, if she doesn't tell you to switch to verbal, that means you're missing something in your hand washing. It's a hint. Alright, and she's trying to give you grace to fix it by the end of your test. Make sense? Any questions on that? Alright, your 4 skills is not individually timed, alright, it's consolidated, alright, so you have anywhere from 33 to 42 minutes. Alright, depends on the skills you get. Alright, you have longer skills, you might have 42 minutes. You have a little bit shorter, 33. Make sense? Alright, so let's say for one of my skills I go over the time. Let's say ambulation, I go over that 4 minutes, right? It doesn't mean I fail. That means for my other skills I need to move a little bit quicker, pick up the pace. Make sense? Any questions on that? Next page. Alright, here's a chart here, your 21 skills broken down into these categories. You might receive one from each category. You might not. Alright, just know all your skills. That's all I can tell you. Make sense? Alright. Next page. Alright, I want you guys to write for me up at the top where it says written. Write somewhere over there. Alright, write CNA plus, P-L-U-S. CNA P-L-U-S. Alright, right underneath of that or on top of that, next to it somewhere, write CNA Geek, G-E-E-K. CNA Geek, G-E-E-K. You want me to write it for you now, something? Sorry. Alright, CNA plus is CNA Geek. Alright, and you can write next to that Google. You can Google those sites for written practice. Alright, now I want you guys to write for me units. Alright, somewhere else on that page where you can see it. Units, E-U-N-I-C-E. Units, E-U-N-I-C-E. Alright, CNA skills, questions, and answers only. Alright, units, CNA skills, questions, and answers only. Alright, you can YouTube units for practice for your written. Now, with that being said, alright, Eunice has other, she has clinical skills on her page, alright, on her YouTube, page. Alright, don't watch the clinical skills, alright? Don't watch anybody on YouTube or TikTok clinical skills. Alright, some of them are out of state, some of them are out of date, some of them are not what they're looking for here. Makes sense? Alright, we are a testing site, we know what they're looking for. If you ever need to see the skills taught again, you guys come back to observe like our other students here. Makes sense? Alright? What are we not gonna do? Watching. There we go. No watching YouTube or TikTok, alright? But Eunice does have written practice on her YouTube page. Alright? She has where she does 100 questions, 200 questions, 50 questions, it don't matter, right? But she does go over a lot of questions. Great practice. If you have time to sit there and go over questions, Eunice. You have less time, just do CNA Geek or Plus. Make sense? Alright, Eunice does really well. She reads the question, reads the answer, she goes over what the answer is and why it was that answer. Make sense? Alright, on the right hand side here, oh wait, your written test, my fault. Written test is 60 questions, alright, you have an hour and a half to do them. Alright, an hour and a half to complete 60 questions. Alright, you need a 75% to pass, which means you can miss up to 12. Alright, you miss more than 12, you will fail. Okay, now I always say to practice, alright, when you're practicing, grade yourself. Alright, so I say do 60 questions, see how many you're getting wrong out of the 60. Alright, if you're getting 10, 11 wrong, keep practicing. Alright, if you get down to 3 or 4 wrong, you should be good. Make sense? You want to be between a 90 and 100% before you sign up for your test. Don't be just barely make 75 and then be like, yeah, I'm going to test it. Right? You don't want to do that for your test. Make sense? Any questions? Alright. On the right hand side here, we have how you can set up your resume when you go to leave here and find a job. Okay? If you ever need help with your resume, Tanya on the front will help you to do that. Make sense? Alright, next page.